you ever woken up, gotten out of bed, looked in the mirror and been like, oh man, it's definitely a bad hair day today. I don't even know what to do right now. I know I have. Whether you have straight, wavy, or curly hair, you have probably most likely experienced this at least once in your life. Well, today I'm going to show you how to style your natural hair. Styling your natural hair can be simple, uncomplicated, with the correct preparations and techniques. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to gather the right supplies, mix your products and apply in the correct order, and finally how to dry your hair in the correct and right way and techniques. So let's master these steps. First, we need to gather our supplies. These are the supplies that work best in my hair. A lot of different people will pick different supplies, different products for their hair depending on if it's super curly like Melody's hair or just wavy and a little bit curly like Sadie's hair. I personally like to use the Aussie brand, but I do rotate out my products a lot. When I run out of one product, I like to rotate out and try different products. So the products that we need today include a spray bottle, a brush, leave-in conditioner, curl cream, oil, gel, and our mousse. And then we will need our drying products later. But first, I'm going just to wet Sadie's hair and make sure it's nice and wet. We want to do this because usually you would take a shower before you do your natural hair or try to style it, but obviously that is not going to happen right now. So we want to make sure it's nice and wet so the natural curls can come out and absorb all the water and moisture. We want to make sure that the underside is very wet too and that we can be able to scrunch and get some of our curls, which, like we can see, Sadie's hair is already starting to form some wavy curls just from the water, which is a great sign because you want to make sure it's really damp enough so that you can have those natural curls. Next, we're going to use our leave-in conditioner. Our leave-in conditioner is essential because it just helps us take the tangles out before we try to style our curls. I like to use it, not everyone uses it, but I like to because I don't want my hair to be tangly when I'm doing my curls. And then I'm going to brush out her hair. A lot of people will leave their hair and not brush it out because they want the full curl effect, but I want to make sure her hair's smooth so it curls good today, and it's going to be more wavy than curly, but with brushing it out, it helps our curls really get all the leave-in conditioner and water that we just put in it, so it can absorb the next products that we're going to put into it. So then our next and most crucial step to our curly hair routine is our curl cream. We want to do a small amount, like a dime amount, and we want to rub it in between all of our hands and apply to our hair. Using the curl cream gives our hair something to latch onto. This is the most important step because it's going to give the hair product that it needs to curl, and a lot of times if people don't have naturally curly hair, this product will make their hair curly because it's a curl cream designed to curl your hair. It has oils in it like coconut and argan oil because we want that oil to smooth out our hair and invite our curls in. Next, I'm going to take my microfiber towel. Microfiber towels are especially helpful for curly hair because they don't strip the hair of the oils and the moisture that it has, and it will help curl up the ends of our hair while also drying it out a little bit. So we want to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and put some more water in her hair to help it curl up a little bit more, because after I brushed it out it was pretty straight because the brush did that to it. So I'm going to have her actually stand up so I can use the spray bottle and finger curl her hair a little bit more because of the curls that came out of it. And Sadie has very long hair, so her hair is naturally going to be more wavy than curly, like I said before, which is actually really good because usually if you have longer hair, you can get more natural looking curls than if you have short hair like mine. They're going to be a little bit more thick and kind of like stumpy looking almost. So I'm just going to scrunch her hair up a little bit. And then our next step that we're going to do is sit back down, Sadie, is going to be our oil. You can do your oil really anytime. I like to do it multiple points because it is going to, first, when I do it now, it's going to help with her dead ends and her dry ends. And then I'm going to do it at the end to take away from the kind of crunchiness that the mousse and the gel is going to create. So I'm just going to put this on the ends of her hair and scrunch that in from the bottom. And I use a technique like this to scrunch in and make sure all that product is getting into the hair. But yeah. And then a thing that I like to do now is I like to flip my head over. So I'm going to have Sadie stand up and flip her head over. And this is when I like to use my microfiber towel and try to get all of these curls to really form. Since brushing it out, it kind of went a little bit flat at the top. So now we're just going to try to get some of that curl back. So I'm going to have her sit back down. And now we're going to do the part that's going to cure the hair back into, it's going to cure the hair. This is where you can use gel or mousse. I like to use both because it kind of has a combination that I like, and Sadie's hair may react a little bit different than my hair would react, but I like to use just a little bit of gel because gel will make your hair kind of crunchy if you do too much of it. So we don't want her hair to be crunchy, but we're going to apply this and we're just going to kind of rub it around the hair and then scrunch. You always want to scrunch with curls. You don't want to just apply the product to one section of the hair, but you want to apply it to all the spots. And I'm going to have to help touch up her front pieces. That's another part that you don't want to miss is your front pieces, because they will be straight if you don't try to curl them up. I'm going to add some more water, and I usually like to add a little bit of water throughout the process because we want her natural curls to really form. And then we're going to add our mousse. A lot of people won't actually use mousse because it kind of puts like a hard layer on your hair, but I like to use it because then when you can kind of reverse it with the oil. So I'm going to use some mousse, just about that much, and it'll foam up, so you just want to brush it down like that. And this is where we're going to try to get some of the frizz away that we can see throughout the hair. You guys can't see as well as I can, so I'll turn her around in a minute, but this will just help these curls kind of shape and hold their shape, because when we dry it, we want our curls to stay, and if we don't have some sort of something to hold it, they're not going to stay. They're just going to be wet and they're probably going to fall. And yes, so now that we have set up our hair with the right products in the correct order, we are going to dry our hair. Usually I like to use a microfiber towel, so I'm going to use a microfiber towel to dry Sadie's hair. A microfiber towel is good for if you're just gonna lounge around at home and you want your hair to air dry, or you can use a diffuser, which I don't like to use a diffuser too much because it takes 30 to 45 minutes for me to do my hair, and my hair's short, so I'm just gonna do a little tiny section of Sadie's hair. I'm not gonna fully diffuse it, just a little bit, so I can show you how to use a diffuser if you want to. So we're just gonna use the diffuser and we're gonna scrunch up the hair. And we're gonna use a scrunching method like this. And so yeah, if you wanted to diffuse your whole hair, you could, but I'm not gonna do that today because that would take a really long time. So I'm gonna kind of try to do the microfiber towel, and then I am going to put a little bit more water and oil onto her hair since we're gonna let it air dry. But this is kind of just a more preferred method. Lots of people will do it different, whether they want their hair to be fully dry when they go out or if they just want it to be naturally dry. And Sadie's hair is actually probably going to curl up a little bit more as she goes on through the day. So now that we have our hair our products all in our hair and our hair dried, it's going to air dry, and we are going to now see the perfect hair. Even if you don't have the perfect hair and it's not super curly or super wavy, you now know how to do it, and and you have the knowledge that will benefit you to help others style or style your own hair.